Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to Big Think Dimension with KZ Excellent,
I'm optimistic about things.
Dan and Bob Video Games,
You see that mountain? You can fuck another man on that mountain.
and Mr. Feel
Lords of Shadow is a bad game.
here on GigaBoots.
This is Big Think Dimension 29. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, KZ Excellent.
Howdy.
Hey, Mr. Feel.
Hey!
And guess what, guys? The sync is our intro. Welcome to Big Think Dimension 29.
Oh, shit. Exciting.
Oh no, I was tricked.
Welcome to the boiler room.
Lords of Shadow is a bad game and/or Phil Harrison owned slaves.
This is the big thing where we gave up. I'm just going to play Smash in the background.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I feel so weak. Bob, why are my bones so brittle and weak? I drink lots of milk.
Has vitamin R.
I'm sure that's a vitamin, right?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
up
vitamin
there.
raw.
Yeah, KZ has plenty.
Oh no, I don't like this bit anymore.
Feels like I have to go. Oh no, Feel has to go. On over to Teespring, where you can buy an Aga Hust poster drawn by
What's the,
Zorofab.
What's the website for that? What we got?
www.somelettersgohere.com. It's in the description. It's in the description. Of the
Yeah, I
video.
guess once you're listening to this, we will either still be in the middle of or have completed.
I feel like saying we will have completed it is a very bold premonition.
Maybe.
We will be in the process of, I am fairly certain, Aga Hust with all of the banjo games.
This will be completed by the time you hear it. Granted, it may be out on Wednesday, because things took longer than they expected.
The much desirable banjo pilot stream, either incoming or past. This is a good time to remind everyone we stream over on Twitch now, so twitch.tv/GigaBoots. That's where you may have missed it all by now.
I was worried it was on competitor to Twitch now.
No, we're on Mixer now. We changed at the
You
last
got
second.
paid $45 million to change to Mixer.
Now, I get what you're doing, but I gotta ask you, is it public knowledge that he got paid that amount specifically?
No.
Okay.
In fact, it's if I was forced to guess, I'd say it was probably more.
Yeah, I would say 45 mil seems about right to get Ninja to move over to Mixer from Twitch. Hey guys, how much would someone have to pay you to record this podcast that no one would ever listen to ever again? Like if I were to offer you a boatload of cash, but you had to come in
At least one more OLED.
You have to come in once a week.
By the way, I
and
won
record.
that match of Smash. It was really good.
Which match?
A wonderful match of Smash was played during this intro, and I won really fast, so we're good.
That's good. I'm really glad.
Yep.
But I feel like nothing could make going through the technical issues that happen with what we do even more hopeless than knowing no one is watching or listening.
Nobody. Ninja is like the one that's big enough to bring people over, which I think is why Twitch de-verified him faster than they've ever done anything.
Wait, what the?
Yeah, he lost his check status and like a few other things.
In like 10 minutes.
Some people are
Wow.
speculating whether or not Twitch did that, or he just straight up deactivated everything because it'd be a TOS violation for him to just jump. So he just closed all the shit.
They
So-
must have known. They must have
Wow.
known in advance.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
Both are quite possible. I like the idea of them being so mad they fucking ripped everything out. All of his emotes. The check mark was gone.
could you imagine? Good Lord. Jesus Christ. Speaking of emotes, let's play a fun game. Have they approved the GigaBoots emotes after over a week of waiting? I have an idea what the answer is going to be.
I'm guessing no.
This is going to end up being one of the sore spots of leaving YouTube, where that shit just worked.
Yeah, you're able to just add one of my Kingdom Hearts emotes on there within like 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, still not approved.
Wow.
Still not
Maybe
approved.
they'll approve by the time this podcast comes out. I'm not going to say it.
Mine took a while, like almost a month, I think.
Oof. We should submit more. So
I've submitted 2.
Okay.
I submitted the Michael Jackson screaming one, and also a thing I've dubbed Cyberman, because he's a dude standing in cyberspace next to a 1990s laptop.
Okay.
I like his demeanor.
Sounds useful.
I sent KZ a bunch of pictures of it. He appreciated it.
I'm very scared. I'm just scared of him, okay?
Bob,
what you got there?
you got to answer me this question.
Uh-huh.
Before we can move on, I need to know.
What do you know?
What have you played since last week?
Let's see. There's actually something I played last week. I really wanted to talk about and totally forgot.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. It's too late.
Oh well. We'll move on to what I played this week.
He needs these moments where he talks about his game for 2 minutes and then we talk about it for 20. So give him this opportunity.
Okay, I'll give him one of his 3 minutes that he gets per podcast. Bob, what did you play last week?
I played Touhou Luna Nights because all of the DLC, not DLC, the game is fully done.
Oh, the EX stage is out.
Yes, the final stage is out. There's a second ending you can get, and there's boss rush mode. And that sounds real good. That game is still a lot of fun. I'm going to knock out a news story right now. That game got announced for Switch release this year.
Whoa.
So that's cool. I was really I was hoping that once it got finished, it would start coming to consoles too. And yeah, right away.
That's awesome.
Good. I'm going to shill the shit out of that game. Is great. Every game by that developer is good, and Luna Nights is by far the most polished one.
Yeah, it's exciting to see what they'll do next, because that's the first one on their new engine. Everything runs well. They get tons of particles. They had lots of neat ideas.
I like particles. I saw footage of that. That game looks good.
Yeah, if you haven't played it yet, either buy it on PC if you want to play it on there, or just wait for the Switch version if you don't have a PC. Either one's totally good.
Or you can listen to that episode of Big Think Dimension where we talked about it for almost half an hour.
No, you probably don't even need to do that. You can watch the trailer. It'll be all set.
I edited the first 7 minutes of that 4 times.
Vegas is a beautiful program.
I also played some of
By the way, it crashes every single time I edit one of our podcasts. It's always a fucking nightmare.
So now you know what I've been through for 7 months.
You are quite thorough.
It's been a hell of a year.
I heard you swallow once. It was pretty raw.
What was it? We started doing the gamer premonitions for Kingdom Hearts 3 and we started recording them in October, right? So we're coming up on a year of doing this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you first pitched stuff, I think, around the beginning of October, something like that.
Man, that's awesome. And, I can't believe I made it a year editing this bullshit without getting addicted to some narcotic.
But we haven't made a year of Big Think yet. That won't be till early next year.
That won't be till we're more than halfway through.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Dan's gonna be like, "This is Big Think 52," and then he'll just blink in and out of existence, and a skeleton will collapse where he was.
I thought you were gonna say it'll then play the Doom shotgun sound .wave.
And you'll play Imp's sound effect of dying.
I'll just go and then fall into a pile.
Bury me with my OLED.
I'll just fall into a pile of ground beef.
KZ has a very Cormano energy.
I've been associated with Cormano many a time.
So, Bob, what else have you been playing?
The other thing I was playing is Kill la Kill. That got a game.
Oh.
I heard it has anime.
It has anime.
I was going to ask you if it's any good.
It's okay.
I've seen some real clown shit.
I need to I actually really enjoy the combat of it, but the story mode keeps having you do things like fight a group of enemies or fight more than one person at once. And that game has
it doesn't.
I assumed the story had to be good since you can't stream it.
Right. But it doesn't let you. It doesn't have a button to change targets. So it just seems to randomly change your target, and it's awful. Yeah.
Is there 2-on-2s in the Versus, or is it just we made up this bullshit for story mode? It doesn't really work out.
Yeah, that second one. That's not in competitive at all, as far as I can tell. Also, the story mode, I went all the way through the first section of it where you play Satsuki.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre and seems like it doesn't give you a good closure on things. But then you start the Ryoko one, and characters seem to notice that it's not or things aren't happening like in the anime. So I'm like, okay, what are you doing here, game?
I thought this was just a sequel.
Oh no, the whole idea of If is it's like it's an alternate scenario if it follows Satsuki.
Okay, it's
halfway through the
Satsuki would be
series.
the main protagonist or whatever.
So I'm still kind of curious how it's going to turn out, but I just wish it had more one-on-one fights because these multi-person battles are just really rough.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it's a really neat game. I like the visual style for a lot of it, and it actually feels kind of like all the hits feel pretty responsive, and I feel like I have a decent variety of what I can do. Yeah, but it's more than I can say about most anime like arena fighters.
So how does this compare to the JoJo's ones?
It's definitely better than those.
Okay.
Out of 5 burst limits, how would you rate this game?
It's better than burst limit. Good lord.
All right, so 2 burst limits, 3.
Probably at least 3 burst limits.
Okay,
I feel like that's the
that
point.
Is now our official GigaBoots Podcast Network anime game metric.
Now in KZ points, that adds up to 32.
Correct. You know math.
Like twice as good as burst limit is fine, and then if you go beyond that, then it starts to become an acceptable video game.
Soon.
This game looks
burst limit could be fine, but no human will dare ever play it again. So inconclusive.
Because it's $20 and that's too much.
I'm not paying that much.
I keep getting emails of, you looked at this on eBay, Dragon Ball Z burst limit. I'm like, no, don't remind me.
No, don't remind me of I said one thing and now it's a bit that's never going away.
Amazon's gonna start throwing it in your
won't
face.
Be free until he does a full playthrough of Burst Limit story mode and all the optional scenarios that are all bad.
That would be great. I would love to see that.
If I do that, Dan has to be there for the whole thing.
Oh my god!
No,
you're gonna see. You're gonna see that one specific flying through the air, punching each other animation that is exactly the same, like 12,000 times.
We can even bring Z on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just gonna fucking walk away from the mic, and then it's just gonna be Xeon. I'm gonna pay him to stay there with you.
It'll be good though, because then I'll also pay Berg to make Dragon Ball art of us.
God, Xeon hates that game a lot.
Yeah, we had a conversation about it recently. He very intricately
Xeon
remembers
hates the thing. I'm fucking shocked.
He very intricately remembered every last problem with it because, you know, he was heavy into the Budokai type games back then. And he was like, yeah, they take the fighting system from the first PSP game instead of the second PSP game where they added all these mechanics. And then they did this, which causes problems with that. And I'm like, wow, usually I'm the guy who has a crystalline fucking memory of what's wrong with the game. With Burst Limit, all I remembered was it ran like shit and 3 was better. That's all I fucking remembered. Also, it didn't look that great considering it was supposed to be like, you know, a gorgeous PS3/360 game.
Yeah, it was their first outing for cell shading on 360, and it was like, oh man, this isn't good.
It was another Budokai 1 situation.
I remember Burst Limit looking weirdly good for the time.
Yeah.
I just remember it looking weirdly shiny and bad.
Yeah, no, it totally does not look good for the time.
Because they had the, it's like super mode in that as you press a button and it just you spark with like a colored aura depending on the character. And it just fucking, it's like you put Vaseline on the character.
No, just watching YouTube videos.
So Kill la Kill If.
Yeah, what
Kill la Kill If sounds good. I want to try it out.
I'm still interested in finishing it up, seeing how many more story mode things there are.
People to timestamp this shit where they're going, and now we're talking about Burst Limit because fucking I don't know.
Because always.
And
the burst limit detour. It's a once a show feature.
Doot doot. All aboard.
But yeah, the only other thing I've been playing is Fire Emblem, which I believe our other two co-hosts here have played a lot more than I have. But I can still talk a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's basically all I've played since the day it came out.
Here's how it'll work. Bob can lead, and then I'll go in, and then Phil will go in. And I feel like that's a good train.
Yeah, that's a good order.
Sure.
I say this because once Phil starts, he won't stop.
I'm on month 2, which is after doing exactly 2 battles.
Okay, that's good.
I got
Did you enjoy Byleth going, oh fuck, I have to protect women and running into an axe?
Yeah, that was weird, but that happened. At least they berate him for it. Like, hey, don't do this again. That's really dumb. You shouldn't do this.
You literally get the dialogue option, I guess I'll die.
Yes.
That was pretty good. I was sad because I believe it gave me a down.
Yeah, it gives you a down.
I was like, oh no, I can't make jokes.
I do enjoy how you rewind time and do nothing differently except you block the axe with your sword instead of your back.
Yeah, it's like, why did you... What was the thought here? Oh, well, I guess you had
It's okay. It's not like you're a fucking trained mercenary.
Yeah,
look,
the rest of the
Byleth
game
is an
about
extreme woman respecter.
How great a mercenary you are, and you're immediately elected to be the house leader of this mercenary or this night school.
Yeah,
but I'm really
Green
intrigued.
Man doesn't like you.
Intrigued by how this thing seems to be set up. I want to play more of it.
Which house did you pick?
I chose the Blue Lions because they were
good.
They were the only ones
That's
that had
the correct
more than
choice.
like one character I actually liked.
Yeah, that's where I was at. Where I'm like, I'm between the two, the Blue Lions and the Golden Deer, because they both have a good amount of appealing characters to them.
Yeah, I was between the Blue Lions and the Black Eagles because of.
Yeah, I picked Black Eagles because they just had the highest concentration of characters that I thought looked neat.
Yeah, I think there were literally one design from each other house I liked. So I was like, I'll just try and recruit those two.
They did a pretty good job of being like, there isn't one house that is just the duds.
Yeah, well, I feel like most of them were duds, so it was easier.
We got great people in Blue Lines like Dedue.
See, even the people where I was like, oh, I don't like that design, I got their support, and I'm like, this is my son now.
That's sometimes Fire Emblem is really good about that. I feel like Awakening did a pretty decent job. Fates didn't, but
oh god, they're so much better than Awakenings.
Quite raw.
But yeah, I haven't been able to get like any
not
of
not a single one has been about food. Casey, I don't know if you know this, but people in the Fire Emblem community, the joke name for Awakening is a baconing, because so many of the social things are about food.
I have a question. Is at this point, was Fire Emblem that thing where they're like, we don't know what to do with the girl, just make her cook bad? Because other very basic anime stereotypes. Okay.
I got to play the fishing minigame. I'm glad that's in there because I've seen some good fan art where it's just like Blythe wearing the t-shirt of "Women love me, fish fear me."
Yeah.
The best. I prefer the one. I prefer the one where it's the guy and he's wearing the t-shirt of course I come fast. I got fish to catch. Also, the best way to make money in that game involves spending like 90 minutes fishing on one specific day.
Good lord.
I never really considered that since I'm recording it, but I should totally just do that.
There's one day where you can catch multiples of fish, like you get between 2 and 5, and you can get the golden fish with the best bait, which are literally only exist for you to sell for money.
Yeah, I should mess around with that.
If you're playing, it's in month 11, and it's called Fistfuls of Fish.
I did have a moment where I got like multiple on a day, and that was neat.
Yeah, it's there twice, but the first time you can't buy bait before it happens, so you're more.
I
Eventually, you do a mission that brings in a merchant that sells bait, though.
So yeah, you enjoyed what you played so far, Bob?
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm excited to see where it's going. Do you get to form social links with the other people who aren't students as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can form links with people who aren't in your house, and you can do it with most of the teachers.
Yeah, I did notice. Like, you scroll down in the supports, and it's just massive.
And with the other students, that lowers the requirements for you to poach them.
Huh, that's good.
Yeah, because you can either recruit other students to put them into your class, either by doing, having the weapon or the skill that, they like to use, like you end up being pretty good at it, so then they'll be fine being recruited. Or if you're just friends with them.
Okay,
actually, no, you need both. It's just that the higher your link is, the less you need in stats.
Now with
those, I think if you're at C rank, you need like 20 in the stat and a C in the skill, and if you're at B, you need like 15 and D plus.
So with those, when they ask for that stat, that's on the main character and no one else, right? It's not like
that's on the main character.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because you're spending so much time not training your main character stat, because you're like, well, your brain immediately goes, I need to train everyone else.
Until you get a bunch of, eventually you'll get like 8 or 9 activity points on your exploration days. Mm-hmm. And then you can go do, I don't know if KZ, I know Bob hasn't unlocked it yet, but I don't know if KZ has. You talk to the other professors, you get faculty training, it takes 1 activity point. And it's
pretty early on.
It boosts Byleth's skill a shitload, like 50 points.
Huh.
Yeah, it just expends a piece of free time to just train it. And then there's also seminars that you can do as you go through the weeks, where you can teach a bunch of your class by having a different instructor. And if you're not teaching them, you're sitting in on those classes. So you also get it. Which is neat. This is my first Fire Emblem game. So I was, not counting Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which was another fantastic Fire Emblem title. And I've been having a very good time going through this. I picked Blue Lions. I'm on chapter 5. I got to rank C with everyone in my house in terms of support, so that felt pretty good. So I have a general feel on the characters. And I really like the cast a lot. There's not really any of them that I dislike in my house at all. It has one of the most great and infuriating mechanics later on, tea time, in which you get to go up to anybody and go, "Would you like to have tea with me so we can like get your points up?" So that, we can get supports faster. And you'll sit down with them. If they say yes, which is completely RNG based, you sit down and then you have 3 questions, or like 3 talking points you do with them. And you pick the one that seems correct based on their personality. And if you get all 3 right, you get to, they say a statement at you, and you have 3 vague responses that are like, laugh, nod. And if you get it right, you get a bunch of points, and then you can, like, look at them pose and stuff at the table.
Also to do it, you teleport to the shoujo manga dimension.
You do. You just teleport to some weird dimension. They drink the tea.
It has, like curl. It has, like, a border along the top and bottom that is all, like, ornate metal, and there's, like, a rose bush in the background and bubbles everywhere.
And it's just random topics to talk at them, and it's like you have to know that for example, one of my house's students, Felix, it's like, I don't talk about knights with him because he's like, knights are bitches. But talk about weapons with this person, or this person likes sweets, so talk about that. And just pray that you get it right, because if you get it wrong, you might as well just reload.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you just reload?
Yeah, you'll soft reset, but then you have to continue to soft reset because sometimes they'll say no that time because it's RNG every time you ask.
Nice.
So there's a potential of just it not working, and also to load into that area takes an extra 20 seconds.
It's like it's just like the regular game where if your character dies, you have to reload. It's only you selected the wrong option.
Yeah. Now you've got the you have like the divine pulse in this game, so you have like 3 charges where you can like roll back the clock down to per action.
Have you gotten the ability to spend renown yet?
Yes, that's also pretty good.
Because in each one of those 4 trees, you get a divine pulse +1, so eventually you just get like 9 charges.
Yeah, I got that today when I was playing, where you can you're doing quests throughout the game, and they give you renown for completing them, and then you eventually get to spend it on one of 4 statues, and each of those statues are based like on a different weapon. So pouring your renown into those will make all your units do better with that weapon, along with a bunch of other bonuses.
I was gonna say, is it like a skill tree or is it just like a buff?
It's just like a list of bonuses, like EXP +5 and
yeah, it's like
spear
every time
spear
you
bonus
gain
+1.
Yeah, every time you gain skill with a spear, and it counts to all your party too. It's not just the protagonist.
Yeah,
you gain 1 additional point, which doesn't seem like that big a deal until you realize you normally gain 1 point every time you attack with a spear. Now you gain 2.
Huh.
Yeah, so I realized that Blue Lions, like 3 people use spears in that, so I just poured everything into that statue. Just made more sense to do that. The gameplay loop is really good in this, of just spending time exploring that area, because everyone has something to say. It's all voiced, which I did not expect. I didn't expect like even the like minor knight characters are just completely voiced for whatever they have to say. And it's fun building up the characters, doing different stuff. You get to go into an instructor mode and then teach them things, which is just it's based on motivation, so you like get them really happy, and then they can have up to 4 charges of teaching something at them.
Yeah, basically.
And they'll either do something good, which is alright, do it great, which gives them a little bit more in that stat, or perfect, and then they get a lot into whatever you were teaching them. Like, I'm teaching them sword, so I can fill the sword meter to make it rank up and better. And then if they do it perfectly, you get to praise them, which then gives them more motivation to do it again.
Also, they can fail, and that lets you console or criticize them, which I think you have to pick based on their personality, but I've always picked console, and it's never failed, and then that gives you another shot of motivation.
I consoled one of the guys, and he just got upset. So it completely... it might just be random. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go, fuck it. Just hope for the best. Though I haven't really gotten many bads throughout that time. But yeah, the whole teaching them gets me really into it. I spent the first 3, all the way up to the end of the 4th chapter. I did not do any combat outside of the required fights, which made one of the fights a little harder. Nothing impossible, but I just found the making everyone better and the side stuff a lot more appealing, even if the combat is fun.
Yeah, it seems like all the side stuff is way more interesting than in Fates, because that's one thing I hated about Fates. Like, between every battle, you had a ton of things to go click on, but you didn't feel like you were really building towards something.
Mm-hmm.
You got the build.
Yeah, between the quests that you can run around and go do, and then you're talking to people, you can pick up lost items that have like a hint of who it belongs to, and then if you give it to the right person, they get bonuses with that.
They get bonuses, and if they're in your class, they get more motivated.
Yeah, and then you can eat with them. You can go to like a choir practice with them.
You can practice. You can plant things in the greenhouse.
Yep.
You can select one specific person to cook with, and that'll give your whole team a buff for the month.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff like that. And the supports, in my experience, have been really, really good. I especially like one of the ones I got between a couple people who went, I genuinely hate you. Also, just there's almost threats of murder, and they've become closer. They are now rank C.
Oh god, all the links in this game are so much better than the ones in Awakening, or fucking Nevermind Fates. It's like, these are actual character things, and not a cliche.
Blue Lines does, in fact, have the Poonhound, though. At
least he's still a character.
He is.
I got the
really
dude that
good.
looks 45, Hubert. You can only get them up
Devil
to
May
B
Cry
in the
5,
first
yeah.
half. Presumably in the time skip part, you'll get to rank them up to A and beyond. But both his social ranks are just him trying to figure out how to assassinate you in case you become a threat to his lady.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the supports I had in Blue Lines. Nothing on that level. It's mostly like, hey, how you doing? Here's my life. I'm like, yeah, that's neat. They're like, you like the sword? I'm like, yeah, I love the sword. I'm real great hitting things.
And then I do the B rank with Bernadette, who is the shut-in archer on the Black Lions. She has the fluffy hair. And she's like, yeah, my dad wanted me to marry for money so he would tie me to a chair and tell me good wives are quiet and make me sit there without moving or speaking for hours. I'm like, bruh.
I almost tricked her into leaving a room by saying there was cake outside her door.
I did that.
Yeah, that's like half the times you can talk to her.
Yeah. I really like it because I'm pretty sure she was outside her dorm in the very beginning of the game, and then after that I have never seen her not in a room.
She's out in like the Black Eagles cutscenes because they have like the class meetings and stuff.
But like when you explore, she's
never.
Yeah, you spooked her, Casey.
She lets you in once because you're looking for a missing person. She's like, well, I guess I have to let you in. But then she doesn't even let you in the next month. She's like, no. Talk to me through the door.
You can also, each month for your mission, you can select someone from a different house to be a part of your house for combat stuff for that month, which is good if you want to, like, get their...
Yeah, that's a good way to...
get their affection
like,
up.
get them to link up with your protagonist, and then you can get their relationship higher and poach them more easily.
Yeah, I did that with her, and she's like, okay, I'm still not opening my door, but alright, that's good. But yeah, I've spent a good amount of time just taking my time through all the side stuff, and I'm starting to get into the combat a little bit. I promoted at least one unit, and yeah, prepping for I'm about to finish the chapter 5 and continue going through it. I'm having an amazing time. This is one of my favorite games I've played this year so far. Like, I'm having a really good time with it. I hope I continue to like it the way I'm liking it right now.
Anybody else
Any
got
thoughts,
anything
Dan?
else to say about Fire?
No.
Yes, let me
No.
open the scroll.
Oh no.
I have no other thoughts. I said literally all of my thoughts during this segment.
Was that
You
when you
open the
said you were going to
scroll here.
leave?
I didn't say I was gonna leave. I've been here the whole time.
Okay. Okay.
You could ask.
So this game is really good. It runs unacceptably badly.
I haven't noticed it at all.
Like
Casey
if you stand in that lobby in the hub area and spin the camera, the frame rate drops.
Oh yeah, no. I got it to actually run well when I shoved the camera in a tiny corner in a sequestered room.
Stay
That's
there
the only
for
place
the
I got
rest
to
of the game. Just
Maybe
stay
if
there.
you hit the button to zoom it up your ass, it runs better. But I'm like, then I can't see.
Yeah,
I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders too. That might explain it.
let's talk about this zoom mode thing. It's insane. Why would
Yeah.
you make the plus button zoom in and the minus button zoom you back out? You can't even hit the plus button twice to zoom in.
I
and
discovered
out.
that today. I had no idea that was even in the game.
Yeah,
it scared me and I got
I
confused.
I keep hitting it to
Yeah,
pause.
I had to look it up. Like, what did I do? How did I do this? And how do I undo it? Because The only 2 camera modes in this game are zoomed into RE4 mode where you can't see shit because it's literally up your ass, or you can see everything in the frame rate tanks. I don't know why they did it that way.
Mm.
And then in combat, I just turned the battle animations off because they ran so badly for me. And I feel like it's because they have multiple versions of the map loaded to enable that. You hit the start button and zoom into ground level.
Yeah.
And it also does that for battles. And I'm like, I feel like a cut to the fight dimension would have been preferable if it made this run better.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it runs unacceptably badly, but it definitely isn't 30.
Also, the models don't look good.
Yeah. On this 4K OLED, that's pretty clear when you kind of just look at them a little bit.
It's funny that like your main character's model looks pretty decent, but then everyone else, even house leaders, look pretty bad. Like,
yeah,
their chests are just a super low texture quality.
It seems like they might have better models for some scenes. Like, no, if they're appearing with, which is used in the links, maybe, because there's only ever 2 models on screen at a time for those.
Right.
If they're ever loading a map that doesn't have 40 characters on it.
But that's the fucked up thing. Fire Emblem Warriors looked better than this, and it had as many units. I feel like they just had to make them look bad because the battle scenes now have a bunch of faceless soldiers with each of your units. So it's like, okay, we have all these extra models, so we can't make things look that great. But I feel like they should have cut that feature if it would make this game look better.
Yeah.
Also, this game is just weirdly unpolished.
In what way?
Like, you can't sort your inventory at all.
Oh.
It auto sorts, but in a way that makes absolutely no sense.
Mm.
So eventually you're going to get to the point where you have like 150 weapons and you're like, I should sell these weapons that I'm not using anymore. And you're like, I can't because I don't know how many I have or how many charges they have because they won't put all the weapons of the same type together.
I've done very limited stuff with the inventory aside from switching in weapons. I think once, maybe twice. So I haven't run into that just yet.
You're gonna gain a bunch of weapons. Have you been stepping on the bloodstains, which by the way is a hilarious mechanic?
I was on offline mode and I never thought to turn it on.
Oh yeah, if you're in online mode, there will be bloodstains on the map, which they aren't literally bloodstains, but they're where somebody's unit died. They're like glowy parts.
They put in the Dark Souls bloodstain mechanic.
And if you step on them, you get either an item, which is almost always a weapon, or you get some experience. So you end up with a lot of weapons, and it's like, I want to sell them, but I don't. They're not in any order that makes sense. It's weird how, like, the biggest problem I have with the game is just that they haven't progressed Fire Emblem mechanically very much since the Super Nintendo.
I mean, this one they strip out like the whole weapon triangle, so
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
right?
There's that, but then there's stuff like in every other strategy game I've ever played, even Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1, I'm pretty sure, your character's ability to move and act are separate.
Yeah, I did notice that. Once you move,
if you attack without moving, you cannot move after, or if you that's a big one. And you can't move somebody, don't have them hold, then move somebody else.
Yeah. So it's like once you move, you must attack. If you don't attack, just put them back.
Yeah. And that's something that's such an old thing that I wish they would have fixed it by now. Also, weapon durability is no longer serves a purpose in this franchise, so I'm not exactly sure why it's still here. Like back when the game was about resource management, it made sense, but also I can go buy 150 iron swords right now. So I mean, that element is gone, but they still have durability.
I think they were trying to invest in it because they have that new skill system, so you burn through more. They have the skill
system, but
well, not everyone's gonna buy 500 swords, aka me, who just went, oh fuck, I didn't bring anything.
They got him.
It just feels like something that creates inventory management for you and doesn't serve like a meaningful purpose anymore.
So what's great about this game is that it's my first Fire Emblem game, so I'm mostly fine with pretty much everything or very positive on other things. But because none of the other games have that social element that this has, I never want to play any older Fire Emblem games.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to bring up. This is all not quite. It's like one step short of being there. But this is almost like an classic Vania to Egavania style step.
In what way?
It's similar, but it may as well be a different game now. Because you didn't have any of this social stuff before. It was just map. And they have the bigger focus on the characters now that they didn't really have before.
I think the split of time because in my Let's Play, it's just all uncut. So the split of time spent not doing combat is like 70%.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a Persona game now where you spend way more time not in those dungeons than you do in them.
And I find that stuff out of combat really, really appealing.
And honestly, I can't see them going back to the old style after this. Every single one going forward is going to have like, this is your base, and you can run around and do stuff in your base between the maps.
I mean, this is what they were starting to go for with Fates. It's just that game did it badly.
Oh, here's another polish thing. You can pick up lost items for characters that you cannot recruit.
Yeah.
And because you can't give gifts to characters you can't recruit, that item is just going to be in that list of lost items forever.
No, it isn't. You don't give them as gifts. You give them in the lost items menu.
I know, but that doesn't pop up either.
Yeah, it does. I've done it with characters who aren't in my house.
Not characters in your house. If you're in the Black Eagles, you can pick up a lost item for Hilda and never give it back to her.
Yeah, I've given characters not in my house lost items.
It's only a couple specific characters, KZ.
Oh.
It's not every single character you can't recruit. There's story reasons you can't convert. Black Eagles can't recruit certain characters. They cannot even build bonds with them. But you still pick up the item that you have to give back to them, and it just rots in your inventory forever.
I must have lucked out then, because I did not get that for anything, which
also
seems
there's
weird. Because you even do it for the staff.
Yeah, the staff, you can get all the staff except for
that's what made it seem extra insane to me. It's like you can even give it to the staff. What do you mean?
Also, there's a quest where you have to catch a fish that Flane, or Flan, how the fuck do you say her name?
Flane.
That she wants a specific fish. So you fish for it and they give you special bait for it. And you can show the fish to other characters hovering around the fishing pond to get items from them. But none of those ever leave your menu either. So I have like 18 fish in the gift inventory that I can't give to anybody because they were related to that specific quest. You can't even pitch them. It just has this thing of, boy, they overlooked a lot of things making this kind of game for the first time, I guess, is the way to say it.
So, Bob, do you think the next Pokemon game gets rid of type advantages to better line up with Fire Emblem?
Well, don't worry, Dan. You eventually get weapon skills that function identical to the weapon triangle.
That's good. I'm going to teach my Pikachu X. What's it? Hatchet Man. There we go.
No, see, you'll have to teach your Pikachu a specific move, and only specific moves get a type advantage now. Can
a Pokemon game start as fast as the Fire Emblem game did?
That that was weird how fast that started. It was 0 to in there.
Wow.
Because I touched down in combat within about 8 minutes. I had my house chosen on like minute 50.
Yeah, I feel like Fire Emblems are typically pretty good about basically starting the game in a battle.
That's good.
Like it respects your time.
They are, but if any game was not going to do that, it was going to be this one.
Yeah. Well, they could have led with the picking your house and stuff like that, but they didn't, luckily.
Yeah.
And no, we'll never get a Pokemon like that ever.
The story is also really good so far. The story either has the most obvious twist I've ever seen upcoming, or they fucking rused me hard. I'm not sure which it's going to be. It'll be option A or option B. I do like the part how the Pope-esque character, Lady Rhea, she seems normal, and then every once in a while she'll say some shit, and you're like, okay.
You enter like month 2, and she's like, yeah, this is really good. I love everyone here. We will strike down those that stand against us. And go.
It was like, okay, you guys need to go quell this rebellion against the church. Let this be a lesson to your students. What will happen if they raise their sword against God?
Occasionally. And it's just said so nonchalantly and no one responds that I just start laughing at it. Like, okay, all right, whatever.
By the way, you can marry her.
No, she's got a big bap. It makes sense. It's like, yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. I have to wonder how different stuff is for each route. Like, are they completely different missions and situations?
There's apparently another major route altering choice on top of the houses.
Like, for example, you mentioned the rebellion thing, and you go into a mission for that, and a character in my house specifically has stuff to talk to a character involved in that pretty heavily, to where it felt like it's a personal thing to this house, which made me question how different
that
it
wasn't
would be.
something that wasn't something that Fates or even Awakening really did very often, except for recruiting. Because the way that you used to recruit people before, because it was all battles, was you'd put the right character next to them and then have them talk, and they join your team. But that used to be a big thing. It was the biggest thing in Path of Radiance, the GameCube one, where they did some dirty shit in that game.
So what KZ was saying, when you got to that part,
I would go into the mission. I'd go into this mission for this rebellion, and a character in my house would say, I have a connection to the plot element of this and the people that we're fighting right now. And that made me wonder what it would be like for other houses.
He's like the leader's adopted son or something. The leader of the rebellion's adopted son, right? Or something like
right,
that.
but is there something special for your house feel? Because you're on a different house.
Yeah.
Or the same characters from his house.
Not that I have found yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it made me wonder when I get later in the game, are there just going to be parts that are weaker or have less stakes because a person in my house isn't there who has a large connection to it?
Because this isn't really spoilers, but that's the only time so far where the guy who's the enemy commander isn't someone who might as well be twirling their mustache.
But yeah, I wonder. I wonder if there's going to be more situations like that or not.
There's also this entirely new mechanic called gambits, which you have to attach a battalion of soldiers to your character to use. And they're like super skills.
Yeah, you can level them up. The animation's really good because it shows like 25 horses and like dudes running at and knocking the other dudes over. The funniest thing in the world is that happens and they miss. They just run through them and it goes miss. And I'm like, fuck you.
Eventually you get to fight monsters, and those seem to be the only reason that the gambits exist, because they do more damage to the monsters, and also there's a weird aggro system where the last person to use a gambit on the monster will always attack no matter what.
Gambits also debuff whoever you're fighting as well, which can be. I reached a situation where a gambit was used on me against a boss unit in like chapter 4, and because they were hit like that, I couldn't move.
You can't move. That's the most common one they use.
Yeah, it's like that way I was forced to have to forced to have to use it.
Edelgard has one right now where she moves them one square. She like knocks them back a square.
Yeah.
Bob, did Fates have the thing where you got to see what enemy units were targeting?
Do you mean
there's like a line
in combat? Yeah, there's like a line from enemy units. This is who I'm going to attack.
No,
it's like in Final Fantasy 12 when like the aggro line appears.
Weird.
Whenever you like move onto a space, any unit that can
that
go
now,
and hit it, they will put the line.
Which, like, I saw some people getting annoyed at that, but
they're making a good video game. How dare they?
Everybody just remembers the weird idiosyncrasies of the AI anyway. Which, by the way, that's another thing I wish they would improve a little bit, because I feel like 5 guys shouldn't go attack the same person and get mulched one after another. It's just setting up a conga line. Bop, 2 damage, dead. Bop, 2 damage, dead.
I have noticed sometimes they just gun for one person, and I just go, all right, here we go.
Okay, that's my big character with an axe. You go ahead, Chief.
I'll roll back the thing. The funniest thing I think I found in the game is they give you like a special swordsman who fights with you early on, and this bitch missed 4 times.
Yeah,
because she attacks twice and then does the thing, and I had the animations off for the characters that I don't control, so it went miss. I'm like, what? Why? It's some XCOM ass shit.
Yeah, the RNG Fire Emblem uses is weird anyway, so the percentages it gives you aren't real. So it's like if you have it's not like super fake, it's not like literally fake, but it's not accurate either. So it's like if it says 70%, you have somewhere in the vicinity of 70%. Could be 65, could be 75. And then if it's the same way if it's real low.
So Bob,
what's up?
Did you play anything else this week?
No.
So the other mechanic that exists in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, where you can add a unit on top of another unit.
Oh, it's Disgaea?
No, they like assist you, and they can like.
The adjutant system.
You're not stacking 8 horsemen.
It's like their not stupid version of pair up from Fates and Awakening.
Okay, yeah. I was like gonna say.
I was just dropping that in as a meme because I'm like, whatever. He talked about the fucking.
No,
the horse dudes.
The game is now has stuff like Gambit where you can move the enemy. It needs to go full Disgaea next game. You need to be able to throw the enemies and your own units around.
I'm totally cool with that.
It needs to at least be as advanced as Disgaea 1, where I could move a unit, have them wait, move another unit to where they were standing, attack with that unit, then go back to the first unit and have them attack.
I feel like
nice.
That you should get advantages from whether or not you're dating someone. So you can throw them further. You can stack more people on them. I think these would be very good.
Silly feel. You thought it was a real statement.
I think that when you show
I knew it was a bit.
They should explode.
So you didn't play anything else this week, Bob?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. KZ, did you play anything this week?
I played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with my friends.
Oh, cool. Me too. I guess Bob's not friends with you.
Look, I was letting Dan have one thing to talk about.
Nah, it's cool. KZ can talk about it. KZ, how was Smash Ultimate?
Smash Ultimate's great. They put out an update that 4.0.
Yeah.
Which added a bunch of stuff, which means I can cross it off of the news, which saves us time.
Yeah. How's the input lag?
Dan, how's the input lag?
I don't fucking know, but I know someone's gonna ask. Well, you're gonna get a comment in the next 2 days.
Came out. First up, Dragon Quest Hero was added with the stage. 8 songs, 2 per game that they allow, which seems to be that's just the deal and how it works, where they're like, all right, for this price, you get 2 songs. They're like, fuck it, we'll buy that price 4 times.
Why didn't we get Zack? Then we could have had 4 songs from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god. You're right.
Quite tragic.
Then we could show in Genesis or Angel or whatever his name was.
So there's one thing that that Dan hasn't been able to do, and that's World of Light. But with super easy mode being added, maybe he'll be able to burn through it a little bit faster.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, so you may not know this, but super easy mode was already in the game. Here's what you do. You pick Bowser, you pick Ganondorf, but you get Bowser first. Then you pick the sticker that lets you start the match Giant, then you pick the sticker that lets you start the match Metal. And then you just tilt the C stick right, and that's how you win every single match in World of Light.
Okay, I did that, yes.
It's a very good game.
I did that. I used the Metal Face spirit, and it makes you start for the first 10 seconds Giant and Metal. And the amount of damage you do, you one-shot almost everything except spirit types you're weak to. But whatever. Super easy mode was added. You bet on matches you spectate, but it's only in that spectate mode. It's not like you go spectate in a battle arena, because then you could just cheat and like game money.
How dare you cheat and get money that does almost nothing in this game?
Yeah, I know, right? But, that's the logic behind it. Online tournaments were added. I don't care because they're public online tournaments.
Right.
So I'm never going to use them.
Like, we don't get to throw an online tournament. We can join their
You can
online
join
tournament.
some big 64-player tournament, which means you're playing against some random, basically a glorified tournament quick play, which means sometimes you'll get someone with a really bad connection.
Yep.
For a company so afraid of people preying on children using their platform that they shut down Swapnote because it was rumored people were using that to, creep on kids, they sure don't want to give you fucking options to play with just your established safe friends.
Yeah. Well, that takes networking.
Yep.
Not networking.
Code.
Yeah.
A lot of code.
I saw Ridley got buff. I'm excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
Final Smash meters have a time limit now.
The best change.
20 seconds. That's how long you got as soon as that pops. It plays a little sound when you have 3 or 4 seconds left, and I screamed, "Oh shit!" when that popped up when I was watching the Sakurai's video
best
about
change,
the 4.0.
the absolute best one.
What do you mean
So
that Dan
good.
can't just sit on his final smash because he wants to take my
Spike.
stuff and then hit me with the fucking one on the last stock? What do you mean he
wants
can't
to
do
just
that?
he wants to just toss you off, then turn around and use the Ganondorf spike, which covers half the screen.
Now,
I think the Ganondorf final smash is relatively fair.
Now, some people will sit here and say this is a victory, that it prevents certain exploits, but let me tell you what I've perceived as the flow of combat now that this has happened. People just run away for 20 seconds. How exciting.
Except it was we run away until you catch someone and use it before. So really nothing has changed.
No, it's just they run away for 20 seconds. That's it. Hyrule Temple's a great level. Anyway.
See, it's only going to really happen on stages that are super big. It's like then
It
you're
is
going to
a
run
great
away.
level. Remember when KZ saved you and then fell to his death?
And remember when he fell to his death immediately afterward like a chode?
Yeah, I love input buffering. It's so great.
What a shame, Daniel.
That was
So here-
probably reverse edge.
So Hero came out. It's got 4 different costumes you can switch to from Dragon Quest XI. 3, 4, and 8. They're all good.
That was probably right.
Or Arusu, Solo, 8, and 11. The Smash Brothers wiki taking the L for when they tried to dub the weird, kind of racist English versions of those words for some reason.
The Dragon Quest XI hero was listed as hero in parentheses Ereben,
Yeah.
which I want to believe is an 11-year-old that doesn't know what that means and just went, Ereben, that's a cool name.
I mean, you're close.
Yeah.
I mean, you're close to the mental state of a major Smash player.
That was not what I was agreeing to, but
No, I don't want to believe in that field. You're just a bully.
Yes.
I think they just looked it up, and through their cursory searches, they saw that people refer to him as 11 in Romaji, which, is
Nobody
equivalent
can
to...
be, if you're smart enough to translate the Romanji, surely, even if you just know how to use machine translation, surely you cannot be that dumb.
Hey, man. There have been dumber names in video games than Arabine.
Look, they watched the Japanese Smash trailer from Sakurai. They kind of heard what he said. They wrote it down.
No, this was
they jotted it down on a napkin
during E3 when they got announced back at E3.
Oh,
yeah. This was a while ago.
Okay,
but Hero's real cool. I like him.
Yeah,
He's got
fun sword character.
He's got an absurd move
You get
set.
the great moments when somebody's like, "Oh God, I have to use command menu. I'll either get something really strong or useless," and then, "Oh no, it's kamikaze."
Or it's magic burst.
Yeah, you get to
A move that has
literally-
all of its power on the last hit in it. In terms of launch.
I like that there is the kamikaze move because that means you could literally knock out the person at third place, go, "I'm okay with second," and blow yourself up 2 frames later.
That is the funniest thing because you were in the lead.
Oh yeah, no, I was ready to move on to the next match.
You're like, I don't like how this one was going. I'm just gonna get that second place.
And I was like, cool, top 2 stays. I'm all right with this.
Nothing is funnier than them going, "What if we gave this character random critical hits?"
That is so funny.
Which means if you combine it with Oomph, his attack buff, the other one that makes his next attack launch faster, combine that with a crit, you deal 70% on one attack.
Wow, that's as good as an uncharged Ganondorf smash.
I feel like there's a pause here expecting a comment from me.
I like Hero. I'm maining the solo version now.
I like the video that a Smash player posted on Twitter with "This is bullshit," wherein he sees the person playing Hero open the menu and start moving towards Kamikaze, and then decides to snuggle up for a kiss, and gets blown up. And is like, "This is bullshit."
Okay, the only reasonable one I've seen is 3, 2, 1, go. Immediately hits thwack and it works.
That is
which
bullshit.
Is the instant death spell.
But also, what the hell is Game & Watch's thing called?
The Judgment Hammer.
Yeah, Judgment 9 exists.
It doesn't kill you at 0.
Oh, It doesn't kill you at 0 anymore? I thought it was an instant shot now.
It hits you pretty hard, but it does not. It's like a kill at 40 type of thing.
Right.
That's not even as good as one of Ganondorf's uncharged smashes.
But yeah, I feel like Hero is a really great character. I like everything about him. His level's also pretty neat. I'm glad that they have a large selection of Dragon Quest music because I really like Dragon Quest, and getting some Dragon Quest 3 music in there is nice.
I wish the prelude had been one of the songs, but I feel like that the War Crimes Denier was a little bit more too protective of it.
I do like the selection of music they chose. I like the stuff from 8. I like the stuff from 11 a lot.
Yeah.
And that stage is fantastic. Like, that's the best version of what they could have come up with for that game. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And I also like that, every 2 colors you get a different costume for someone, which I think is neat. Just so, even if we have multiple people playing Hero, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, then at least you have half unique outfits and then half darker Gohans. Because all 4 people chose the Dragon Quest 8
just
guy.
ended up still picking the same fucking color and person. I'm like, come on.
There's some really good ones in there, okay?
There are. I'm just always going to pick Solo with dark hair.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I know people will hardly pick him because of his weird hat and hair.
I'm going to pick Arisu with the color that makes him the guy from 5, because I think that guy's cool.
But I think that's good, because I feel like sometimes people stay away from characters if you're like, if someone else mains them. But I feel like it's a bit more approachable when there's just entirely different costumes. It makes them feel different enough.
It's not a problem. Smash in general is pretty good about the colors being distinct, except for Sonic.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, it's contractually obligated to be blue.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Blue.
Blue.
Meanwhile, Kirby's like this. Here's heartless Kirby.
Yeah.
Here he is opening his mouth.
But yeah, no, it's pretty good. But we gotta move on. You play anything else, KZ?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. Bob, did you get to play much Ridley in the new patch?
No, I haven't been able to play him at all. I was just playing All Hero the other day.
Yeah,
I'm excited to try him out.
They buffed Ridley.
I saw that.
I'm not happy about that.
I was like, these all look good. I'm excited to see this.
I think one of them was just like make that grab good.
Yeah, like make the launch farther.
Make you die less while doing it.
Yeah, no, it's like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Extend the range of the high damage area of his up A. I'm like, yeah, thank you.
They had to change, a few different things. I like that for Isabelle, they're like, all right, so we're going to make the fishing pole clasp onto you faster. And if you use it with up, it goes even farther when you throw them up.
Didn't they nerf the fishing pole last time or something? So maybe they're just trying to make up for that.
I think last time it was something like it's easier to grab onto you when it's coming back. So I like throw it in front of you and I'm pulling it back and it grabs you.
Isabelle is an agent of chaos.
And I guess that was KZ.
She can grab thwack. Yeah, you can pocket the death spell, then throw it back. It's like, don't tell me that.
Nothing will be more clown shit than what Dan did to Carl by jumping up in front of villagers' rocket with bounce on, and it not only changes the direction of the rocket, that alone would be insane.
Yes.
It makes the rocket yours so they get hurt by it exploding.
It was so good. It was the peak of that stream.
PM was devastated. He just left. He just jumped off the stage off the last stock he had.
Oh, PM was the one playing, not Carl. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. In that same match, Carl missed his final smash and also gave up.
Yep. He said, "Good luck with Dan," or whatever.
And Bob's like, "Oh no, here we are again, the weekly beating."
But yeah, no, that was a fun stream. That character's really great. Field, did you play any other games?
No, I literally played Fire Emblem Three Houses every single free moment this entire week, except for the Smash when I was playing Smash, and also when I was on your weekly beating live last Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did a weekly beating live on Friday over at twitch.tv/GigaBoots, and that was fun. We got a little
toxic
bit of
gamers came in and criticized us while we were playing fighters because in the heat of the stream I forgot to do certain things like use lows.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I remembered shit about that game the next day where I was like, why didn't I do that?
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, I did it. Oh wait, why did I do that?
Why did that work?
That was easy. Wait a minute, why did I do that?
No, it was kind of the opposite where I was like, man, I had some real trouble. Wait, half of my move set.
It's just that episode of Seinfeld. Dan has to turn back around and come in with a bucket of shrimp.
That stream was good if you wanted to see Field do the exact same combo over and over again for 3 hours.
Hey, people like their Saturday morning cartoons where it always goes the same every episode.
Yeah, it's like Scooby-Doo, only Vor.
And that's now in the quotes. Anyway. Yeah, that's all I played for games. I have been busy with other stuff. Like the Aga Hust poster over on Teespring that you can get. And you can head on over there, check that out. We need to talk about the Pod Lords!
The Pod Lords? Did you know that before we list the Pod Lords, did you know that to become a Pod Lord, you can go to patreon.com/gbpodcasts and become a Pod Lord. You will get your name read on every episode of Big Thing Dimension and can name yourself something that Dan will lose soul points while he reads.
It's true.
And if you don't want to become a Pod Lord, $5 or more a month still gets you commentary tracks, bonus shows, extended pitches from armchair devs, and many other benefits. That is patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
Where you can find other podlords such as Danny Richardson, Notgak, E. Lee Broyles, Crimson, Corey Brown, Dank Mormons, Suzushiro, Red Blaze 27, Jucifer, Zavik Walker, the Nostalgia Zeddy,
Cringe before him.
Yes!
Matty Bo. What in the fuck am I looking? Heaven's Evidence, and Emperor Zero. Thank you very much to our podlord.
Thanks, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlord.
Blessed be thy name.
I cringe before you.
Blessed be thy name.
So topping off the news this week, turns out Rockstar made $5 billion in profit in the last 10 years off of Grand Theft Auto 5. And some fucking how they got 42 million pounds for the video game tax relief scheme.
Oh, good.
Which is fucking insane.
This is the Amazon rules.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos wrote them a while back. Now all companies use them, where they just don't pay taxes anymore.
It's fucking insane.
Hey, they need the tax relief scheme. As you remember when Red Dead 2 was coming out, this is an indie studio.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Turns out this relief scheme, or relief fund, as we would probably call it in the States, is to help out games that are struggling and this is in their language, okay? Culturally British.
Wow.
Now, I don't
Yeah, this is.
I don't know that anyone would ever
it's a very
describe
standard,
GTA 5 as that.
Yeah, that's complete bullshit. The concept of this isn't, because every country has that, so it's like, oh god, American cultural hegemony is insane. We have to combat this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but Rockstar makes the most American shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, they apparently, that amount of money, the 42 million pounds, accounts for almost 20% of the entire fund. They took 19% of all of the money for that tax relief scheme for a game that made $5 billion in profits.
First of all, they are disadvantaged. I can see why they're getting that tax relief. I mean, think about it. Think of all the things they go through. Countries keep taking away the option to use the casino.
This is the most insane fucking news story of the week.
Rockstar just comes out like, we'd be able to pay taxes if we could sell our games to children.
Yes, but did you see that their activity and money peaked this week because of that casino thing, and the last peak was when GTA Online launched.
Oh god,
that's
it's
revolting.
Yeah, like it they pressed the hyper money round button and just.
This is exhausting. Video game news shouldn't be this exhausting. Bob, tell me about some video game news that isn't exhausting, please.
Tell me about additions to a good video game.
I got additions to Street Fighter 5 if you want those.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's called Compromise, everyone.
Street Fighter 5 had all its next DLC characters leaked because they accidentally posted on the Steam page somehow.
God, I hope this was a fucking, like, okay, we have this and that's fine. If that leaks, we still have a secret. Because if they get up on Evo's main stage and like, here's 2 Final Fight characters and the least popular Street Fighter 2 character,
now
that is dire.
Unless they're doing a work, they're fucked, because Ona just made a tweet of saying, I don't feel like doing anything right now. Just following that leak. Like, it's a super big bummer for all of them over there.
Let's hope it's a work.
Because they're like, this is it. We've held it. We've got 3 brand new characters that we're just going to throw out there. Oh, no.
So let's go over the characters.
Yes, please.
E Honda.
Okay.
Classic Street Fighter 2 character.
Mash the punch button.
Lucia, who is a character from Final Fight 3, a game that is real.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That's not good.
And Poison, also from Final Fight. But has made appearance in previous Street Fighter games.
Poison, highly iconic.
They all released on August 4th, so that's really soon. It's going to be out by the time this big thing's out.
Man, could you imagine if this had this hadn't actually leaked. That would have been huge.
Well,
now imagine my
I don't think
position with this. Here's the story of KZ getting this news, right? I go and I look on Twitter when I wake up, and people go, man, the characters added E Honda, Poison, and Lucia. And I went, they're adding the Devil May Cry character into Street.
I wish. Like, if they this Lucia should Devil May Cry 2, it would be a way more exciting addition.
And then I'm like, oh man, Street Fighter added another blonde-haired character into their game. Great.
It's very exciting to have more.
Yeah, that is. First of all, I think it's weird. Like, is Capcom working on, like, secretly working on another Final Fight? Because there's so much Final Fight shit in Street Fighter 5.
It would make sense. I think Final Fight's ready for a revival. I think you could make an action game around Final Fight.
They have, like, what, 7 characters or something?
There's Cody, these two, Abigail,
G,
and G's not a Final Fight
Yeah,
character.
he's not from Final
they
Fight.
say I believe he's linked to Mad Gear, according.
Yeah, he's the new boss of Mad Gear in their story, but
What?
he's not in Final Fight.
Yeah, but Mad Gear.
Yes, he is also the world's president.
Yeah, G is the boss of Mad Gear now. That's like his thing in the story.
Yep.
And then you have and then the ninja guy is Guy's master, I think.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Final Fight play.
I mean, I think Lucia is actually cool, and I'm down with Poison being
she
in
looks
Street
neat.
Fighter 5. E Honda's classic, but I've never really played him. One of the more
I'm
interesting
glad
things,
he got in
though,
because he was the only one left from that
yeah,
starter Street Fighter 2 roster.
and you want everyone to be there. But one of the interesting things is they edited his level. How many people caught that?
They edited it.
Uh-huh.
Oh no! What happened?
I retweeted it because I wasn't sure people would catch it. So in the bathhouse, there's, the Mount Fuji in the background, the cloudy sky, and the rising sun flag.
Yes.
So they kind of took the beams of light out of the sun, so that way it's a bit less reminding Korea of worse times.
Huh. I thought that because before I could have sworn it did that when you did a knockdown, like it flashed the rising sun flag back then.
It did flicker when you did that, but you don't actually have to do that for it to be there.
Okay.
But yeah, that's not in the new version. It's just a yellow sky with a red sun. It doesn't shoot the beams of light out of it. They added more clouds to balance out the art a bit more. But I was like, why'd they change that? And then someone posted 2019 and posted the comparison image, and I'm like, oh, right. Okay.
So I like visual aids. So I went to your Twitter to see this, and I scroll, and I run into, you did a retweet to try and win a copy of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, of course. It's August.
I like that even in that official
And a mouse
Microsoft
pad.
contest, they're like, we know you like it.
Shut up, you love it. You know you want this
I
free
want you to
copy.
win that mouse pad so bad.
Yeah, I know. I do need a new
It looks
mouse
so
pad.
ugly.
Yes, it does.
I haven't looked at the mouse pad. I assume it's like one of those boob mice, but
It's not.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's just
Putting it in here.
it's just hideous banjo, like, from Nuts and Bolts, like you
So
expect.
ugly.
amazing.
I was telling Bob we should get someone who does hyper realistic paintings to paint him and me as that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a very mentally
Get me out of this
exhausting thing.
backpack.
But yeah, no. So I honestly think Lucia's cool, and her being in this actually has made me go, I need to go see what the deal with Final Fight 3 is.
yeah. I'm curious to play Final Fight 3. I think she's kind of neat.
Final Fight 3 is the one that has the knockoff Street Fighter character who has the super move Scrap Dunk, isn't it?
I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
like we didn't even know it existed until like a couple days ago.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I
it
just
has
forgot.
the dude that looks like a weird bird man.
That's why I like the way you wrote this in the notes, Bob. Lucia, parentheses, from Final Fight 3, a game that exists.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was the most interesting of the characters that I saw. I was like, that looks neat. I don't really care that much for E Honda.
Yeah. me
Poison
neither.
has the steppy.
Yeah, Poison's outfits are really cool.
And honestly, I'm glad they.
I was gonna say thank God for the nostalgia costume, but I'm not gonna play the game, so it really doesn't matter.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm glad. What was it? The last time Poison was in a game that wasn't
4.
Yeah, they put her in 4, but
4.
they used the art from Street Fighter Cross Tekken, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
And
those
it
were like
just
They
better
just
with
used the
core
model.
art.
It was all ports.
It just looked so bad, and it felt lazy to just be like, here's the same model. It's good enough.
Wasn't?
Shut up, you.
They gave her a haircut
wasn't
in this
that-
one.
Yeah, I don't think it looks as good. That's why I'm glad for that nostalgia costume. I feel like Street Fighter V in general has a real problem with, okay, the design can't be exactly the same. What do we change? Let's make it worse.
But yeah, so I'm glad they got her in a new game.
He has a better hat, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I do like hats.
Does she have a hat that has a dog on it that's wearing a smaller hat? Because Bob's got that. So as far as I'm concerned, he's winning the hat game. Bob, I'm going to...
Does he have a whip?
I don't know. Bob, do you own a whip?
I don't think I own a whip.
Oh, okay, must have
I
been
know
my
you
other
own heels,
friend.
but, you know. the
Yeah,
whip.
but we weren't going to bring that up. Anyways, Bob's, I don't want to believe you on this. Travis Strikes Again is No More Heroes is coming to PC and Steam?
PS4 and Steam.
PS4
Yeah.
and Steam?
Yes.
Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was talk of that a few weeks ago, and now it's actually officially announced.
Yeah,
and
we-
it's like, okay, that's neat.
Okay.
October 17th.
It seems real late for that, but oh well.
That game's only been out,
It only came out this year.
yeah, it came out earlier this year.
I figured if it was coming to anything else, it would have done it faster, honestly.
It's probably a Nintendo deal or something.
That's so weird. I feel like it can't because they had a 6-month deal.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's possible. And then
But
if it's like there's the whole thing,
6 months is enough time to get anybody who gives a shit about No More Heroes to maybe look at it.
and it could even
Like
be
being an actual No More Heroes game would have done a better job of getting people who like No More Heroes to look at it. But okay.
and sometimes there's even like sales goals involved with that sort of thing. So if it doesn't hit a sales threshold, they can put it out faster on their platforms.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever, they're making 3, so
I'll probably play it at some point once I play all his other shit, because apparently it just leans into that. Like his visual novels, like The Silver Case and stuff.
I mean, that's neat.
Yeah, I looked up stuff where they're like, yeah, he's just leaning it because you're going into video games. There's like, you enter the cursed video game console.
I think that we should bring up
Apparently
What's up, Bob?
apparently the hook at the end of that game for No More Heroes 3, spoilers if you haven't played it, I'm totally going to spoil this, so is just the Smiths are going to kill Travis.
Oh, like from gotcha.
From
Killer
Mr. and
7.
Mrs. Smith.
Yeah,
that
those
film
ones.
that came out like 10 years ago.
Why did I get that movie confused with Ballistic X versus Sever?
You too? Holy shit.
Hey, Bob, you had something relevant.
I was just gonna say before we get too far in the news, we should mention we're recording this before Evo happens. There's probably a ton of fighting game news we won't have.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
There's actually one specific thing that looks like it might be going to happen, so if I'm going to say it, and if it doesn't happen, you all get to point and laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be funny for you to hear this in a world where I was either very right or wrong.
A lot of people are starting to ride that train anyway. But we won't be able to react to stuff. Maybe they'll show Spawn this weekend.
Is that happen? That's happening in MK11, isn't it?
Yeah, because Mortal Kombat 11's getting Spawn as the DLC, and they released the Nightwolf trailer ahead of Evo, which means they either have a trailer for Sindel, or they're just going to show Spawn because that's the one people will actually pop for, comparatively.
Yeah, I mean, if any of those rumored characters too would be big reveals for this.
Oh, they revealed the whole season pass, like.
I thought that there was still
Have
some
they
sort
shown
of
off
tease
Ash? Have they shown off Ash from Evil Dead?
Oh yeah, they did the hints that are very obvious that Ash from Evil Dead and Terminator are in.
Yeah, those two are the two. They're like, yeah, no, people will go crazy.
They'll lose their fucking minds.
Yes, finally a good Terminator reveal after all the bad ones. That
We're
were
gonna-
in
After
E3
all
this
the,
year.
we have the modern movie, and I'm just like, ugh.
We're gonna trick Dr. Aggro into playing Mortal Kombat so he could play as Ash.
This is quite the bamboozle. Can we trick him into playing Burst Limit too?
I think he'll notice a lot faster that he's playing
Please
Burst
respond,
Legend.
Dr. Aggro.
Please comment below and be sure to like and subscribe, Dr. Aggro. Bob, what else? What other news you got for me?
We also got the release date for the next game from Bomb Service, the guys who made the Momodora series.
Their name is Bomb Service?
Yeah, that's weird. It's called Minoria, and it releases August 27th.
What kind of game is it?
It's another game. It looks like a Metroidvania, but it has a lot more like focus on combos and stuff in combat. The art style is also super weird and different. It's them trying to do like this all 3D models on a 2D plane. I think it kind of looks bad, but I'm still gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Try it out.
When I first found out about it, because Momodora looks so insanely good.
Yeah, and then this is just yeah. I'm worried about both the way the combat's going to work in this new system, and also that the art doesn't look as good. It's coming to consoles later this year as well. Or sorry, not later this year, just later in general. But the PC this month.
Wow,
exciting!
It's like the 27th.
Yeah.
Yep. And the other big piece of news I got is Call of Duty Modern Warfare did their big multiplayer reveal.
Oh, finally, we get to talk about a real video game.
Now, I'm excited to hear your take. As my first Call of Duty was last year's one, maybe I'll get this one if it sounds
Casey,
good.
as you keep saying, my first blank was game that came out 10 seconds ago, I start to wonder if you existed before 2018.
What are you talking about?
You said that about Fire Emblem earlier in this podcast, too.
I've never played a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you're a stereotype.
I know. We run this podcast with mutoids who are like, I've never played Call of Duty or Halo.
The Halo thing was so good.
If there were ever a time to shit my pants on stream.
Also, I'm someone who didn't have, relative internet at the time. And also look at what I play. Like, look at that. I had no interest in throwing 60 bones on Call of Duty multiplayer. I was also traumatized.
Yeah, that was the big,
I lived
big thing
for 8 months with a cousin who played nothing but that. I'm like, oh God, please.
I don't.
End.
I don't
please
play.
Let it end.
How
long can you play Black Ops 1 Zombies? How long can you fucking play it?
That's the thing. I resist.
They're still playing it.
I know.
I resist. The thing is, my insane point is I resist any game where it's like, play this, okay. Now play it some more. Okay, when do I stop? Never.
But I thought you were playing Final Fantasy 14.
I hit the level cap and then I stop.
Ah, I see. So you're not going to be some weird land baron?
No.
Oh yeah, that shit where like an entire group is buying an entire ward in Final Fantasy 14, like all the houses.
Yeah.
And making it, and houses are super hard to get in that game.
Yeah.
Where
they're hard to get because they're limited by server space. So you can't have like endless amounts.
So some people just have to just rush to get in. Someone's like, we bought an entire ward, which is like, I think over 24 houses, like 30 or 40, something crazy.
They instituted things where like it's really hard to do that. So they scammed some shit. I'll be surprised if Square Enix doesn't bust their fucking kneecaps.
They put out an official statement since they're like a group. It was like a 6-page thing that amounts to, we did it because we could. Fuck you.
Yeah, I have a suspicion a lot of their accounts aren't going to exist anymore in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I hope they at least just have their houses stripped.
Because this has happened a couple times, and Square Enix has been pretty good about, no, fuck you, we're instituting these restrictions to fuck over, like people hoarding land.
Bob, am I going to be able to buy a house in the multiplayer for the new Call of Duty, which had info revealed?
I don't think so.
Okay, what is in the multiplayer for the new Call of Duty?
That would be pretty cool.
You chose this life, Dad.
It would be, look, what you do get in this package, Daniel.
Okay.
You get a new game mode called Gunfight, where it's 2v2.
You can play the new mode Gunfight, as opposed to the old mode
glad
Shoot
they're
Gun.
adding guns to Call of Duty.
The regular deathmatch, or I think they were calling it Firefight mode, it has now 6v6, which is standard,
Yeah.
10v10 and 20v20.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, and there's a new game or mode called Ground War, where it has up to 100 players. And it doesn't sound like this is just, the Blackout, another what do they call those?
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. It doesn't sound like it's that, because they aren't saying what it is, and I feel like if it was just a Battle Royale, they would just come out and say that. They also showed off a lot of vehicles and stuff like that, bigger maps.
Like a 100-player deathmatch?
I have no idea what it's going to be. It's probably not going to just be a deathmatch. It's probably going to have some sort of goals or something.
What if you could buy real estate in that mode?
Maybe you can. Maybe you can own a section of the map.
Your goal
ground
is to
war
become
over
the
it.
ground war land baron.
Heck, guys, this could literally just be Battlefield, but we'll do Battlefield better than it's done it in the last 6 years.
Oh god, if it's just Battlefield, then EA's just gonna turn to stone and fucking turn to dust.
The explosion will end, and you'll just see the corpse of EA made of stone.
Oh no.
I really think
It's
going
like
to be
in Dragon
that.
Ball Z where Vegeta turns to stone and then just crumbles and falls 100 feet and crashes into the ground.
Yeah, because there's this first time
Challenge everything.
they have like a new engine. The game looks nice. It looks nicer than the newest Call of Duty or the newest Battlefield, and it seems like it runs way better.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, oh no.
At this year's the first Call of Duty that has joined this generation in how games are supposed to look. You know, that thing Sony's been doing for a while this gen, Microsoft did with Forza and nothing else. They have
Forza's super consistent.
They have a proper photogrammetry techniques for making their 3D models, so everything looks hyper realistic. This year's game looks stunningly good. Can't wait for the button to pixel. Hope there isn't some sort of weird input lag fucking opportunity cost with this sort of graphic fidelity.
I bet there's no input lag in a Call of Duty game. They got to make that tight.
Yeah, no, I push the button and then it happens. There's no input lag.
It's instantaneous.
Yeah.
They also announced
I pressed the
beta
button
dates.
and it worked. That means input lag doesn't exist. I put my TV in game mode.
You probably forgot to do that, Dan. But anyway,
I probably forgot that. Yeah, good point, Bob. But
High frame rates are actually bad because it makes the game take twice as long.
that post on Reset Era is insane.
God, how is
Okay.
how is this real?
Bob,
Okay,
what else we got?
they announced the beta.
Oh, cool.
It comes out first on PS4. They're doing it between September 12th and September 16th.
Okay.
The first 2 days of that are going to be just for pre-order customers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then they're doing it again, like the next weekend, September 19th to 23rd. And that one's going to have crossplay.
It's happening, you guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's going to be them testing that out. So it's going to be on Xbox One and PS4, and I think PC as well.
We're forcing these publishers to fucking do this, and they're forcing the console manufacturers to do this. And that ultimately is going to lead to Microsoft having better input lag on the same exact fucking games as Sony, and it becomes a major marketing point of, hey, games are just more responsive over on Xbox. I'm gonna keep calling it Xbox 2 until they announce the thing.
Yeah, hopefully they figure things out for PS5 and
yeah, that'd be good if Sony
a lot
got
of
their
things.
shit together.
Right.
But then again, we still don't have EGA DLC for Bloodstained.
I think they gave us a date finally.
As far as I've seen, they haven't.
They
The
put out an
update came out today.
I read it.
I could have
As
sworn.
far as I saw,
no.
it didn't have a date for EGA DLC. EGA DLC did hit everything else, as far as I know. The Xbox One version finally got all of its patches. How is this?
I don't know, man.
Why is Sony so bad at giving out codes
I
and
could have
putting
sworn
things
this
on a
that
fucking
August
store?
2nd was when it was supposed to come out.
It came
But
Friday?
I played a little bit of Battlefield and did
okay.
not like it at all. I immediately bounced off. But
Which Battlefield?
Which Battlefield?
one?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's one of the bad ones.
Here's the
Oh,
thing,
okay.
Casey.
That-
Let me run you through this.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 3. Let's start with the beginning. 1942 is great. Vietnam, I hear, is all right. Then there are some games. Don't worry about it. Battlefield.
Bad Company 2 is raw.
The Bad Company games are really cool. People want them to come back. EA doesn't understand why people like them. It's
EA
insane.
is deaf, blind, and dumb.
Yeah, deaf, dumb, and blind. Battlefield 3 is really great. Battlefield 4 is just 3 again, which upset some people. And then they made a bunch of bad ones, and here we are.
Yeah,
So-
You play Battlefield Hardline, the game that vanished for a year because they announced it and then Ferguson happened.
Oh no!
Yeah, they didn't talk about that
literally
game for 9 months
here's our
leading
new
up to
Battlefield
launch.
where you play as a cop and shoot rockets at buildings. And it's like, yeah, here, police violence is now a major issue in the United States. And it's like, that game is gone.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
It's the gif of the dude piecing out and then fading away.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
But I played some of the Battlefield 1 beta. I loaded in and immediately I was in the middle of a big field and just got shot within like 4 seconds of loading in and went, this is...
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
but I
how
played
Battlefield
plenty of
1 was. Yeah.
Black Ops 4 and went, I like this. This feels arcadey enough that I can sit down and just grind out multiplayer matches, and I had a really good time with that.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Real quick,
Yeah.
the Battlefield 1 beta gave you the worst level imaginable for that. Like,
Yes.
it seems like that level was made to be sniped.
Yeah. No,
I don't
that was a
understand
terrible
their brains.
experience. Yeah. That was awful.
It seemed like an anti-fun game as I was playing it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're gonna go over to that cliff 5 miles away and shoot at the random asshole who just picked up this beta and make them want to be dead.
Yeah, the I have no idea what they've been doing since 4. All these games have been significantly less fun than 4. I don't know what they're doing with the map design anymore. I don't get any of it, Bob.
Yeah, it's baffling. Yeah.
It's really depressing because I used to be someone who was like, yeah, no, Call of Duty was good, and then Battlefield started getting good, and now they're just way better, and then they started making more.
Right.
Didn't they just start making bad ones as soon as this gen started?
Battlefield 4 is actually pretty good. The online was a bit messy for the first, I think, week of launch, but outside of that, it was...
But yeah, that one launched
solid.
the system, though. So we got the good one right at launch, and then it's just been trash.
Yep, it's depressing.
It was what? Hardline, then
Then one,
Star
then 5.
Wars, and then 1,
God.
and
Wait,
then
if
we want
5.
to start
wait,
on the
did they make
Star-
it? Did they make a 5 before V? Or
No.
5 and V different?
No.
Okay,
No,
I
they're
was
not
scared for a
Kojima.
second. It's like, that sounds really stupid.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm really glad crossplay is a feature they're bringing in, not just because of the good marketing angle to put the squeeze on Sony to get input lag better on their platform, but just because I feel like more games should be going that direction. Like Destiny should be that. All these other things should have crossplay across all these platforms, so that way, you buy a platform for the exclusives and you buy it for the experience of playing the game, not what do my friends have.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people get stuck in that trap of, well, they all bought the other one. Guess I'll miss that on the games I actually want to play so I can play with them.
Yeah, I saw a guy go through that this gen. He had a PS4 for the first 3 years, and then eventually he fucking gave up because all of his friends had Xbox.
And that is so obviously the reason Sony is resistant. It's fucking pitiful. It's like, if we don't let them have crossplay, people with friends with PlayStation will have to buy a PlayStation.
But I've always seen the opposite happen, where it's these people want to own PlayStation, but their friends own Xboxes, so they turn over, they trade in their PS4 and all the games to get an Xbox.
I'm not saying it's accurate. I'm saying I would bet money that's Sony's mental process.
The funny thing is, all that did was upset people this gen, so the people who get to make another decision next year are probably going to go Xbox. It's frustrating. The whole thing's frustrating, and I'm really glad, at very least, Call of Duty is getting some crossplay in.
Oh, yeah, there's one other Call of Duty thing.
Oh, okay.
They announced the Dark Edition of Call of Duty. It's $200.
What is this?
It gets you functional night vision goggles,
Oh,
which
all
is
right.
you show back to
There should be
Modern Warfare
there
2,
needs
I
to be
think.
quotations around that.
yeah.
There needs to be mini quotations around that.
No, I'll be fine.
I think they said 65 yards or something. Or maybe 65 feet. I can't remember.
That's a pretty big difference.
It is,
as it turns out,
right?
a factor of 3.
Yeah.
Was it Call of Duty, this new one that has the weird thing going on with kill streaks that have people mad?
Yeah,
Is that a
I didn't
different
even
game?
want to talk about it because I was like, that it's funny because Spec Ops had the horrible white phosphorus burning people to skeletons bit, and it's funny to dunk on them a little bit for making white phosphorus a kill streak, but it's like, guys, Call of Duty has had like nerve gas and nukes and napalm as kill streaks for years.
Yeah,
It's
what's
like,
your point?
Yeah.
I don't
you
understand
could have been
your
mad
point.
before this.
Yeah, I'm like, even this latest trailer, like, yeah, there's a nuke. I think the white phosphorus is a little less harsh.
Yeah, isn't it the same game where it's gonna let you shoot a baby or some shit?
Yeah, that's what they keep saying. They keep saying that this is gonna be real fucking dark.
Yeah,
I said it on Twitter, but the clown dimension, possibility is that they will recreate that horrible white phosphorus scene where people are getting melted into skeletons, and then it's a kill streak in the multiplayer.
It's also the game that lets you get a kill streak that is getting a big bomb suit and then it plays metal music while you go around with a Gatling gun.
yeah.
That sounds raw.
Yeah, it does sound pretty raw.
You're selling me on this game.
But even then, like the first Modern Warfare had you got nuked and you're slowly crawling for a little bit before you die thing, and then that game had a nuke as a kill streak, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob. See, what they didn't tell you is
If
they're
you
adding.
weren't mad for 15 years, stop.
This will be
Casey,
my
you
second
got
Call
news?
of Duty game. I wasn't around to get mad.
He didn't exist before last year.
He didn't have a
Yes.
single player to get mad at. If we're going to get mad about
He
stuff in Call of
briefly-
Duty, Black Ops 3 has a single player that's incredibly dumb.
I love
He
dumb
briefly
things.
phased into
Is
existence.
that the one where they kiss?
play burst limit, then vanished until last year.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
That's a good timeline. Works out.
He
That-
stepped out.
The
He's like
Kingdom
his
Hearts 3 wave was pretty easy.
He was like, his Final Fantasy 13 verses out yet? And they're like, no, all we have is burst limit. He's like, okay, I'll go back in and come out when it's ready. And then he came out at
I
launch and they're
eventually
like,
gave up.
yeah, he came out at launch and they're like, oh no, this isn't the full game. We're still working on the full game. He was like, okay. And he went back in.
I was like, do you have it now? They're like, no, it's not happening, but we shoved a bunch of it into Kingdom Hearts. All right, I guess I'll just come out and do that. So is Discord a good program? Are you throwing some to me?
No, I'm laughing at what Phil wrote for the Microsoft Ninja news. His stub is pretty good. Phil, can you read what you wrote here for the Microsoft Ninja news?
Oh, that's me. Discord is a good program.
How did it break that bad?
So Microsoft spends more on getting Ninja to go Mixer exclusive than any of their exclusives this gen. We talked about this a little bit. Ninja will be exclusive to Mixer. Apparently, a rumor of what the deal was has leaked.
Oh.
And this isn't confirmed, but I'm going to say it because everybody's going to shit their pants. 6 years exclusivity. He cannot stream anywhere but Mixer for 6 years. $938 million.
He's a smart businessman.
I didn't even know. I forgot that Microsoft owned Mixer.
Well, yeah.
Oh man,
That's what
I
they're
forgot
trying to
Mixer
solve.
existed.
yeah, that
And
too.
I thought our Banjo Pilot goal was a little bit too much.
I don't.
That's literally more than they've spent on every single exclusive game for the Xbox One this gen.
This man got paid $1 billion to play video games
For 6 years.
for 6 years.
I don't think that this is enough to get people to go to Mixer.
It might.
It might be.
It's-
If they take even 5% of Twitch's stuff, that's a victory for them.
He's one of the people where it would make sense. I don't know if it makes $1 billion of sense, but I think it makes a chunk.
Let me.
Because it's like him, that Dr. Disrespect dude, where they're like some of the huge streamers, so it makes sense to poach one.
Oh, let me
Cheats on wife.
explain. It makes sense for 1 billion Silicon Valley dollars.
Right? I'm like, there's no way that this
Okay,
actually is making money, but it might get their subscriber count up.
Uh-huh. Look, Bob, you need to not have a bunch of unsuccessful businesses on the rap sheet. And if this $1 billion, this chump change, is enough to get that to stop looking like a complete failure, it might be worth it.
Now, can we
remember
stop
before they bought this site.
Crackdown from
Like,
crashing?
I remember back when it was being called Beam.
Yes.
And it was like, hey, we got this streaming service that has 0 input delay if you get this add-on. And then Microsoft bought it. Did not expect them to start paying $1 billion for one person to just stream on it.
Yeah, that's nuts. Good on
It
them.
is cute whenever they talk Mixer during E3, though. That's my favorite part.
Oh, yeah, no. They're like, if you go over there, you'll get some Forza shit? I don't know.
They gave us Rare Replay one time.
I think I saw Jeff Keighley post a Vixer video once, like did a mini stream before E3 started. And I was like, why is this a thing?
Stick to Periscope.
It's just Jeff Keighley staring in a mirror, sitting there with his Pope hat.
Hideo would fuck me.
And he's like, why wasn't it me?
Boy, Jeff Keighley sure pulled it around from that Dorita Pope shtick.
I like Jeff.
I mean, no,
Everybody
love Jeff
likes
Keighley.
Jeff. Nobody dislikes Jeff Keighley except unless you're a pillock.
I think he's a nice lad.
But yeah, he's like,
He
I
has that
could
nice
dye my
romance
hair.
going with Hideo Kojima.
I could get a bunch of people to watch Mixer. Why didn't they pay me $1 billion? I could make my hair pink.
Like, I would have played Banjo-Kazooie in Super Smash Brothers over there.
Mega Man Maker every day for 6 years.
Yeah, I'll take $1 billion.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good asking price for that.
Yeah, no, that's a really good asking price for that.
Not
It goes-
every day, because sometimes he has to do Mario Maker.
Yeah, it goes up a bit if we have to do Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Now, we talked a lot about Battlefield just now before we got derailed by Ninja getting $1 billion.
Yeah.
Oh God,
EA
this.
just tells a fucking lie
Oh man.
and says,
Is it
we
a
don't think
lie?
our customers... Yes.
Okay.
100% it's a lie.
Yeah.
They say, our customers aren't interested in Switch versions of games, which translated from lie is the Frostbite engine that has been kneecapping us this entire generation won't fucking run on that console.
Which I believe in turn will make them not interested when they're like, this runs at 5 frames per second.
Yeah, it's like the
And it's
only
all-
one they tried was FIFA, and I was like, surely this is just to test the waters, and they're gonna put Madden on here.
You would think.
We're like 2 years into the Switch. Why is Madden not launching on the Switch?
I don't know.
This is insane.
Because the Frostbite engine is bad.
Yeah.
They also didn't want to, like, invest in some of the higher storage carts, so it has to have that big banner at the top of fucking download like 2/3 of this onto the Switch anyway.
Yeah,
we ruined the box art.
Every sports game is like that. NBA also does that. But
They should also have a line that apologizes for ruining the box art.
But also on the box art, so it's more ruined.
I know, that's so good.
and I assume that these things would work fine because NBA keeps doing it. 2K keeps putting these things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games can and would do fine. The dumbest shit does fine on the Switch. There is a technical limitation keeping them from putting that shit on there.
And they won't make NFL Blitz.
And they won't just
Like,
switch to Unreal Engine 4. Could you imagine how much more money their company could have made this generation if they had just used Unreal? Like, holy shit.
Not only that, that is looking into a different dimension where EA is significantly less hated and has a significantly less terrible current gen lineup.
Man, I thought you were going to say
what is-
significantly less head ass.
What is going to be their best AAA game this gen? Probably that Star Wars game that's running on Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah, I can't think of, like, is it going to be Dragon Age Inquisition? No.
I think that's the thing
Is it gonna
people will be most positive of if that Star Wars game bombs. Because some people really like Inquisition.
Yeah, somehow
I don't
the
agree
mutants
with them.
exist, but okay.
Some people are wrong.
Are they aliens, Bob?
No, I'm not gonna
He's
go
not
full
going to
into
take
the field.
Feel's bit.
No, Phil would say they need to go into the electric chair.
No, I wouldn't. I don't go that far. I know people who like that game. I just think it's so boring and shitty.
I have a couple
'Cause it's
friends who
just
like
an-
Dragon Age 2.
You know what? If they played it far after launch, fine.
I believe so. They just like the characters.
Dragon Age 2 with that weird, which has that weird DLC where you just hang out with Felicia Day, which not only horribly dates the game, is really weird.
Ugh.
And literally ends with you having the option to go, no, I'm going to kill you, Felicia Day. And her going, no, you're not, and walking off, and then narration going, I don't know why we didn't kill her. I feel like everything Bob finds out about Dragon Age causes his maximum HP to go down.
Yeah, no, Dragon Age.
I just felt like that because you were talking about Felicia Day.
Everything Dragon Age, especially Dragon Age 2, is just depressing. It's so bad.
Dragon Age 2 has
the Dragon Age setting or whatever the fuck that shit's called.
Yeah. Dragon Age 2 has the absolute worst written game I've ever played. Here's a character that's supposed to be you're supposed to like them. Somebody sacrifices themselves for their surrogate daughter, which is in your party. And he goes, that's the most noble and beautiful thing I've ever seen. And then without skipping a beat, he turns to the surrogate daughter and goes, the world is less because she died instead of you. Also, that character blows up Mother Teresa.
Okay. Yeah.
Dragon Age 2 is a bad game.
All Dragon Age feels like it's max of, I need to write something mature. It needs to be very dark and serious. And then it's just the worst.
Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, speaking of ghosts, like the career of BioWare, Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, comes out October 4th on everything and Epic Game Store, boo. Plays the fusion of Brad Shoemaker and Jeff.
Oh no. How did it evolve? That's what shocked me when I went into the notes this afternoon. Thought it was just Brad.
Well, you said that it looked like Brad with Jeff's face.
Alex Navarro.
Oh, Alex's face. Okay, Alex Navarro's face. I got that mixed up.
Yeah. It had a very homeless man-like energy. Just look at him.
That game of the year was fantastic.
Yes, he went through a lot.
Now it's time for a bit we all like. Bob.
What's up?
Maverick Proving Grounds is canceled. What is that?
Phil, I actually intended to do research to this. I searched it up on Google. It took me to a web page. I can't tell what that game is.
Oh, you did research and you still don't have
I had 0 minutes to look at this, but I did. And
it was supposed to be a battle royale that had 400 players. It also had some kind of other multiplayer mode where it had 1,000 players, which I feel like the moment you hear that
player battle royale,
the moment you hear that, you're like, no, this is never going to come out. But and now it isn't.
What a surprise, I guess. How unexpected or expected.
I feel like it's only right for me to go to the Mavericks Proving Grounds Twitter account and just retweet one of their things.
It's good for you to show everyone the dead so they aren't forgotten.
Yes. I retweet Space Lords sometimes.
It's not technically dead yet, KZ. You
fucking follow that account and it kills me every time.
Yes. KZ just carting around his coffin, showing it to random people.
Now, here's the thing where by the time you hear this will either be true or false. I hope it's true. Satsuki from Kill la Kill's voice actress was a guest on Blaze Blue Radio, and they what was unique is they actually made a little Satsuki-style lobby model for the video, or the thumbnail, I forget which. But they made a cross-tag battle style lobby model for it, which is making a bunch of people going, oh, Evo's this weekend, maybe. The sixth fate that they teased for cross-tag is Kill la Kill, which makes sense. Arxis published that up. Arxis published If.
Yeah, Arxis got its name all over If. Even just in cutscenes and stuff, you'll see him, show up the Arc logo.
That game is on sale this weekend. If they announce that, immediate purchase.
Yeah, no, that would be the one thing that gets me to play that.
If that hits in, we're on that great timeline, because finally, we can see who's stronger between Ryuko and Ruby from Ruby. The ultimate crossover.
It's just Satsuki, though. It's nobody else, because they know she's the most popular.
I feel like if they do it, it'd be her and Ryuko.
I feel like you bring in two because it's a tag game.
Yeah, I would want her. In a perfect world, we get her, Ryuko, and Fight Club Mako.
Yeah, those are the three that are important. But for some reason, they didn't put Mako in the initial launch of Kill la Kill If. She's a free DLC character that's coming later.
That is...
Yeah, it's crazy. It's I guess that you couldn't figure out a way to shove her in the story mode, so that wasn't as important or something.
Fucking charlatans.
It's like, I don't care about this 4 Elite Four anywhere near as much as Mako.
I'm just as appalled as Dan. I'm just doing it quietly.
It's not okay.
Same with the Naked Beach guys. Those guys are getting added later. They don't show up in the story at all. It's really weird.
Look, the level of importance goes Satsuki, Ryuko, Fight Club Mako, Ragyo. And if you disagree with this, you eat rocks.
See, they're not aliens and they don't deserve the electric chair. They just eat rocks.
And like, oh, but what about Sanayama? Rocks. You get up and pour gravel in a bowl and add milk.
I feel like your take can't apply because you don't even know how to say his name.
I don't even remember what his name was. That's how little of an impact he had on me. The swordsman guy.
KZ, I'm reading your news story here and I'm dying. And I need this moment to pass so I can highlight this with black and not read it anymore. Are you meaning to fucking tell me?
Okay. Let me really dig the heels in here. So let me pull it up so I can give you the exact issues that have come up with Crash Team Racing. Some may say the best kart racer on the market as of right now.
Alcoholism is a real problem.
They also say they like sweatpants.
They are comfortable, but don't wear them in public. Microtransactions are coming to Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled in a new update that'll let you buy Wumpa coins with real money. In a blog post, they said you'll be able to purchase them in various bundles. They'll be available within console stores and something. It won't change the game's core mechanics. You can still earn them by playing the game, but people want to speed up that progress. Well, they can. I have to do that, and it gives you cosmetics and shit.
Wonder if they slowed down the rate of earning true gameplay.
Yeah, if they did, this is completely outright evil.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a patch that came before this that quietly did it. That way they couldn't say it happened on this patch.
We'll find out if that happened because people will bring it up.
Yeah,
but
it's like
even
it's
if
like
they
that
didn't,
Destiny 2 throttling thing people noticed.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't, it's like you really can't help yourself. It's like a compulsive disease.
They waited until everyone bought the game, and now they're going for it.
Look, at least it's...
And apparently at E3 they explicitly said, "No, we're never adding microtransactions."
At least it's just buying currency and not a gambling game. It's not EA.
That's it's just as bad to me because it almost always goes hand in hand with we fucked up the progression, so you feel compelled to buy this shit.
Yeah, depending on how badly that's happened. I don't know what the current rate is, like if it ever felt good.
What was it? Was it Battlefield 2 where it's like the version journalists played had the in-game currency massively boosted on what you earn playing normally, and then
Battlefront,
and then the day one patch knocks it down to almost nothing. So they dodged it being brought up in the reviews.
Like they set it up so that the reviewers had it at a certain price, and then when it came out at launch, it was the reward that you would get for stuff, and it was slashed like into a third. And
they
then,
do shit like this, and then they're like,
all the time stuff came out too.
Oh no, it would be so bad if these got legislated. And I'm like, you fucking did this to yourself. It's like you got told to eat ice cream, you ate it till you made yourself sick, and now mom's taking away the ice cream.
Yeah, but this isn't even loot boxes though, unless there's other things for just all microtransactions in games.
I'm pretty sure it's all of that.
Oh, okay. Because this is just like pay for an in-game currency that then buy a costume.
Right. This is just a layer of abstraction on a cosmetic thing. In as much as you can at least earn that cosmetic thing in the game. But obviously, I think the larger problem, like everyone stated so far, is whether or not the in-game progression is completely, the in-game economy is completely fucked.
Whether you feel like you
this.
have to.
Right. Yeah,
there are plenty of games where it's like I can just hit a couple buttons and boom, I'm a lot farther. I've saved time. I got the thing I wanted.
Yeah,
My problem with all these is that I don't trust any of them not to kneecap progression to try and push people towards these.
Yeah,
you see it even in single player stuff like Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the EXP booster that makes the game almost playable for me.
Almost.
Otherwise, it's a massive grind on top of a game where all the enemies scale with your level, so everything feels like pulling teeth.
Yeesh.
But yeah, surprisingly, Activision, I don't feel like they do this sort of thing as badly as EA and Ubisoft. So I'm not going to tackle this that bad.
Yeah, they don't. EA is by far the worst. EA is insane.
Activision is bad, but the other two are, Ubisoft would be above that, and then EA would be at the top, and it's just beyond egregious by that point.
Okay, here's how it goes. Activision is Goku, Ubisoft is Hit, and EA is Jiren.
Ubisoft time clone.
Okay, I just have to throw this out there. Am I the only fucking person who keeps getting confused between the Outer Worlds and the Outer Wilds?
Yes, that's come up occasionally, where I see someone talk about the Outer Wilds, and I'm like, are you talking about the game I care about?
I don't even know what Wilds
being
is.
Epic Games.
Yeah.
Wilds is like a weird survival procedural.
Oh.
Yeah, the story is like, I think you explore through space, and like part of the story, most of the story is the sense of discovery, and a lot of people have said that it actually is really, really good, but it's something that is.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but there's also some like time thing. Oh yeah, the game restarts every 22 minutes.
I mean,
is it Heartman?
This is my first time hearing about that game, so no, I never mixed them up.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I heard about it recently because it came out, and then reviews like popped up for it, and I went, "Is Outer Worlds out? What?" Got confused by that, but Outer Worlds, which is made by Obsidian, is the Fallout New Vegas looking game on like a different.
It's their
planet.
not Fallout game where they kind of took a bat to Bethesda because at the Game Awards they started with this gigantic from the original creators of Fallout, and then proceeded to show
they're like, look, our frame rate's already better.
67, 76.
Yeah, it's coming to Switch.
That's neat.
That's neat. The language sound like sometime after the first set of consoles get theirs.
Well, yeah, because they have to like pare it down and spend a lot of effort making it work.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was just something that, even Microsoft's like, you should probably just get it on there.
I'm sure. I mean, the money's going to Microsoft, so I imagine they want it there.
All right, next up, we got a Concrete Genie. Got a trailer just out of nowhere.
What is Concrete Genie?
Concrete Genie is the Sony exclusive, where it's like kind of looks like Tim Burton-esque, like stop motion looking visuals for the characters. Like it has a weird art style to the characters. It's 3D.
When did we see this? Because they haven't done an event in forever.
Paris Games Week 2016 or 2017. And they've shown a little bit of it in the occasional show. You run around and you use like little graffiti on the walls to create like monsters. And they're like, you can use it for combat and other stuff. It looks neat, but it finally got a release date.
There was some other game that had that. So there's
Epic Mickey, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there was. Okay.
But yeah, it's been a thing that they've been showing occasionally for a while now, and it finally got its release date coming out in October 8th.
Cool. I'm actually pretty interested in that.
Yeah, I need to check out that trailer because I was kind of concerned with it after the last D3 where it showed up, where they started showing the combat, and I was like, maybe you don't add combat. Maybe you don't do that.
Didn't they also say it supported VR?
I thought they did.
That's weird to me. But yeah, I don't know. It had pretty cool setting. It seemed like it could do some interesting things. I'm interested in checking it out. I'm sure Tosh would like it, probably.
Relatively new studio, Pixel Opus, which is an in-house Sony studio.
Really?
They started in 2014. They helped work on a rhythm game, or they worked on a rhythm game called Entwined, which came out for PS4, PS3, and Vita, and this is their second game.
If I remember correctly, Entwined was that game that stealth dropped at E3 that one year. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in June of 2014.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Man, totally remembered that. I'm kind of surprised, wow, that they're still around.
Right?
Huh. That's neat. Yeah, I'll probably check that out for the podcast.
I'm a little sad that seems like a lot of Sony games where they're just sending it out to die.
Yeah,
It's just they're not doing any like shows at this point, so they're just like fuck it.
Yeah, they're just like Sony has been. It feels anything that isn't massive like Death Stranding feels like it's just being sent out to die for that reason.
I'm surprised. I'm guessing just things are pretty lax even with third parties because they could have like done a state of play. I feel like this month or something, and like
Yeah, they did. They
queued up stuff. They've done two.
They've done 2 of those, and
Second one was
last
pretty
one was
good.
before
Had, like
E3.
Monster Hunter and FF7 in it, and the first one was Iron Man VR.
Oh, I think they showed Concrete Genie in one of those, and that's why I know what it is.
Maybe
Yes,
maybe they'll
did.
do a state of play for Gamescom. Maybe that's what they're saving it for.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'd like that because even if it's like slightly worse than the second one, I'm like it's short enough that it doesn't bother me.
I feel like, you know, with the Kevin Butler era of PS3 personification of corporate boreheadedness, we need that version of Sony now, where it's just some guy who just doesn't give a shit. He's just like, hey, it's me, Devin Butler.
We need
If only it's
As
too
we
bad.
say here
It's
at
too bad
Sony,
he touched.
get the fuck out of my office.
It's too bad he touched a Nintendo Wii and got canceled.
Yes, that's too bad.
we need Devolver
just
Digital
get
to
it,
write
just
the
go
state of
get-
play.
Yes.
Yes. Or just make the new face of Sony Chad Warden.
Oh, if only.
Who appeared from the ether when the PS4 came out to post his pre-order for the PS4 and nothing else.
Weird.
He is the legend. He is the chosen one.
Did he at least call it PS Quadruple?
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll never know.
Shakes him to the core.
We could probably find out one day. We have one piece of news left on the list. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus revealed a new character, Percival. He uses a sword and he has fire, and it looked raw. He will be playable on the demo kiosks at EVO, and I imagine we'll see other character reveals there.
Yeah, probably at least one more. I hope Vayne is in it. Vayne being Lancelot's boyfriend, basically. That's my understanding of it. Considering I pulled Lancelot and Vayne as one unit and neither of them have shirts.
Look,
Which is what
sometimes
happened
boys will be
yesterday.
boys.
They're into fitness.
I'll just link this image in the Discord so Dan and Bob can look at it.
Oh no.
Feels like let me post my smut.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
He sure did.
They're
He
just
sure
both
did.
at the beach to pick up the ladies,
Yeah,
okay?
they're having a fun time. This might as
check
well
out
be
their
me and
episode.
Bob.
Yeah, oh no.
I'd like to Photoshop Dan and Bob onto that.
If anybody wants to do that, it's the character art for the Knight's Beach banner weapon in Grand Blue Fantasy.
But
Make
you know,
feel the ball.
oh no, that's horrible. And with that, we are free. The news has been said.
Dan and Bob Video Games, what you got going on from this Monday forward?
We are doing August streams, which is a bunch of Banjo-Kazooie streams. Make sure you follow us at twitch.tv/GigaBoots, where you can come by and check out some really fun playthroughs of some really fun games. We're going to have a stream goal going across multiple streams in order to do Diddy Kong Racing.
Dan, they can't because it'll all be done by the time they hear this.
Maybe. I don't know. They should follow us there anyways.
They should go check. We might be dead on stream.
Yeah, it might be fucking live streaming a corpse and, well, two corpses and some guy yelling into his microphone. Why won't you save them?
Like, who are we kidding? KZ is just gonna be yelling those banjo sounds.
It's just gonna it's gonna play with massive reverb and echo, or he's just gonna be like,
KZ can read the room. We did that whole Final Fantasy VII stream, and not once did he. Once we got to the point where I would drive to where he is and strangle. Exactly. We didn't get a single one past the point where I would have put my thumbs to your eyes and pressed down if you had said it.
Are you sure, Phil, or did you just forget?
You said everything for that stream.
If I forgot, it's the same as it not happening.
Wow, that's a statement. But aside from that, I'm not willing to announce anything because all we're trying to do is survive the streams. KZ, what do you have going on?
I've realized that Phil is worse than me because I'll just say, I forgot everything. He'll go, it didn't happen. I don't remember it, but it didn't happen. I'm continuing Fire Emblem, of course, going with that. I just finished up getting enough of it on ready and prepped until this next Friday, which should hopefully be enough to get through the banjo. If not, fuck it, it's banjo.
You'll get to see KZ playing the female Byleth, who, if she's standing in profile, has boobs sticking out about a foot.
Boobs be like that sometimes.
She is a swell lass with a very wide set of eyes.
Yeah, she looks like Case Close B animation team drew her.
Yes, I think it's quite swell.
I feel like a lot of characters in this game have that energy.
You're totally right, Bob. Every time Phil posts an image of someone making a face, I laugh my ass off.
Yeah, that's about it. We're just continuing the usual content. I will most likely be making supercuts of every banjo-related thing that we do.
Oh, God.
I'm especially excited for the Diddy Kong Racing stuff, because I know that's getting hit. Because I'm just straight up going to push real hard. I'm like, oh God, I want this more than the Kingdom Hearts streams.
I mean, I'll just be glad that we hit our $938 million goal.
It's not $938 million.
If Jinja can ask for it, why can't we?
You don't color your hair, Bob.
Oh no.
So you're telling me, if I get Bob to color his hair, we can make $938 million?
If he colors his hair and you color your hair, actually, here's how this will work. You'll color your hair to look like Banjo. You color his hair to look like Kazooie. By the way, Banjo is already your hair color.
Yep.
So it's gotta be Bob.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not fair to Bob.
Look, it's not my fault that Bob has a bird-like energy.
I will laugh like a witch, so I'm already in character.
Yep.
All right.
What do you have going on?
Bye, everybody.
Oh no, the music is playing. Quick, Casey, stop the music! Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more gamer premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. This GigaBoots video was brought to you by our magnanimous executive producers: Vincent Poverg, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Brendan O'Sullivan, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Shadow in the Darkness, Dryzart, and Red Blaze 27. And also these guys. Head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today so you can try to be as cool as these people.